Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare states $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're shining a spotlight on a coin that has captivated collectors, the United States 2000 Maryland Quarter. This isn't just any regular quarter, it's a piece of American history with a fascinating story and, believe it or not, a mind-blowing value. Let's take a step back and look at the story behind this coin. The Maryland State Quarter was released in 2000 as part of the 50 State Quarters program, which was introduced by the U.S. Mint in 1999. The program featured a unique quarter for each state, and these coins quickly became a favorite among collectors, as well as a symbol of the rich cultural and historical diversity of the United States. But of all the coins in the series, the 2000 Maryland Quarter has turned out to be one of the most exciting and valuable of them all. Now, let's talk about the coin's design. On the obverse, you'll find the familiar image of George Washington, which has graced U.S. quarters since 1932. But it's the reverse side of the coin where the magic happens. The design features the state of Maryland's state flag, its iconic black and gold crossland pattern, symbolizing Maryland's rich history and connection to the British royal family. The flag is split into 4 sections, each with its unique design, making it a bold and striking symbol of the state's proud heritage. But what really makes this particular Maryland quarter stand out in the world of coin collecting? It's the errors, and not just any error, but a rare minting error that has driven the value of this coin into the stratosphere. Let me explain. Point 1. Of the most common errors found on these coins is the infamous double die error. This happens when the coin is struck twice, resulting in a doubling effect on certain elements of the coin's design. In the case of the 2000 Maryland Quarter, some coins were struck with a double die, which makes the image of the state flag appear to have a double outline. This error is incredibly rare, and collectors go absolutely wild for these pieces because of how noticeable and unique they are. If you happen to own one of these quarters with the double die error, you've got something extremely valuable on your hands. But wait, there's more. There's also another rare variant of the 2000 Maryland Quarter that has even more significance. Some coins were struck on incorrect planchets, which means they weren't properly prepared before being stamped with the design. These quarters have unique characteristics, like off-center strikes or even misprints, which make them even more valuable to collectors. These off-center or misaligned strikes create coins that are incredibly difficult to find, and as a result, they tend to fetch incredibly high prices on the market. Now, you might be wondering, how much are these coins worth? If you're lucky enough to have one of these rare errors, especially in mint or near mint condition, you could be looking at a significant payout. How significant, you ask? Well, brace yourself, because the value of a single 2000 Maryland Quarter with these errors can reach up to a jaw-dropping $58,000. That's right, $58,000 for a quarter that was originally worth just 25 cents. It's absolutely mind-blowing how much these rare, misprinted coins can go for, and it's a great reminder that in the world of coin collecting, even the smallest piece of currency can hold a huge value. So, if you're lucky enough to have a 2000 Maryland Quarter lying around in your collection, or even just sitting in your change jar, it might be worth checking it closely for any of these rare errors. Keep an eye out for that double die, off-center strikes, or any other misprints, because those could be the key to unlocking a hidden fortune. Remember, collectors are constantly on the lookout for these rare finds, so if you stumble across one, you might want to get it appraised or even consider selling it to the highest bidder. The world of coin collecting is filled with surprises, and sometimes the rarest gems are hiding in plain sight. As always, it's important to store your coins properly to protect their value. Keep them in a cool, dry place and, if you can, use protective cases to prevent any further damage or wear. The more pristine the condition, the higher the price a coin can fetch. So, there you have it, the incredible story behind the United States 2000 Maryland Quarter, a coin that is not only rich in history but also in value. If you have one of these rare quarters in your collection, you could be sitting on a small fortune. And for all you dedicated coin collectors out there, don't forget to keep searching for those rare minting errors, because you never know when you might stumble upon the next big find. Top 2, we're diving into one of the most sought-after coins in the history of U.S. currency, the 1999 Delaware Quarter. You may think it's just another state quarter from the 50 state quarters program, but hold on tight because this little coin has a huge story to tell and a price tag that will make your jaw drop. Released in 1999 as part of the U.S. Mint's ambitious 50 state quarters program, the Delaware Quarter was the very first coin in the series. That alone gives it historical significance, but there's much more to this coin than meets the eye. As with all state quarters, each coin features a unique design representing the state it's commemorating, and Delaware, being the first state to ratify the U.S. Constitution, has a design that honors this important milestone. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find an image of a colonial drummer, symbolizing Delaware's role in the American Revolution, and a depiction of the state's famous motto, Liberty and Independence. But here's where things get interesting. While most of the Delaware quarters were minted with this design and circulated widely, not all of them are created equal. There are certain variations of the 1999 Delaware Quarter that make it incredibly rare, and potentially worth a lot of money. For collectors, it's not just about owning the coin, it's about owning the right version of the coin. Now, let's talk about the errors that have made this particular quarter even more valuable. The 1999 Delaware Quarter was part of the first batch of coins produced for the state quarters program, and with that came some fascinating minting mistakes. The most famous of these errors involves what is known as the double die variety. What exactly is a double die error? Simply put, it's a mistake that happens when a coin is struck more than once, which results in a design being slightly doubled or misaligned. In the case of the Delaware Quarter, these double-struck coins feature a noticeable doubling in the inscriptions on the coin, especially around the word Liberty and even the colonial drummer's figure. This double-strike error is extremely rare, and it's these types of errors that make certain coins shoot up in value, but that's not all. Some of these Delaware quarters were struck on incorrect planchets, which are basically the blank discs of metal that are later stamped with the design. These incorrect planchets can cause all sorts of strange and unique characteristics: coins with off-center strikes, unusual toning, or even coins that appear to be misaligned. These characteristics might seem like imperfections to the untrained eye, but to a serious collector, these are prized features that can make a coin worth far more than its face value. So, what does all this mean for the value of the 1999 Delaware Quarter? Well, it means that if you happen to have one of these error coins, particularly one with the double die or other minting flaws, you could be sitting on a small fortune. A 1999 Delaware Quarter in mint condition, especially one that features a rare error, can easily be worth thousands of dollars. And if you have one with the double die error, you're looking at even more. The highest value ever recorded for a 1999 Delaware Quarter with these rare errors has reached an astounding $64,000. That's right, $64,000 for a quarter that was originally worth just 25 cents. Now, don't get discouraged if you don't think you have one of these rare coins in your collection just yet. The truth is, these coins can be difficult to find, and they require a trained eye to spot the differences. But if you're lucky enough to have one of these quarters, and it's in great condition, don't let it sit in a jar somewhere without giving it a closer look. It could be worth far more than you ever imagined. For those of you who are serious about collecting coins, this is a prime example of why it's so important to keep an eye out for minting errors and rare variants. You never know when a coin might pop up with an anomaly that could send its value skyrocketing. So if you have any 1999 Delaware quarters tucked away in your collection or in your change jar, take a moment to examine them carefully. Look for that double die, misaligned strike, or any other imperfections that might make your coin one of these rare and valuable treasures. For all the passionate collectors out there, this is a great reminder that coins are more than just currency, they are pieces of history that can hold extraordinary value. The U.S. Mint might have produced millions of these quarters, but only a tiny fraction of them contain the rare errors that make them stand out in the world of numismatics. To all the collectors watching this, keep your eyes peeled and your collection safe. Who knows, maybe the next rare find could be sitting right under your nose. So, the next time you're at a coin show or sifting through your loose change, remember, you could be holding something that could make you a small fortune. Top 3, we're diving into a coin that could be hiding right in your pocket, the 1999 Connecticut Quarter. This coin is part of the famous 50-state quarters program and, though it may look like just another quarter, it has some extraordinary details that make it stand out in the world of coin collecting. The 1999 Connecticut Quarter was released as part of the state quarters program, which aimed to honor each of the 50 states in the U.S. by featuring unique designs on the reverse side of the quarter. Connecticut's quarter features an image of the charter oak, a symbol of the state's rich history. The charter oak is a massive, historic tree that became famous when, in 1687, it was said to have hidden the charter of Connecticut, protecting it from being seized by the British governor. This coin captures that momentous event in history and features the oak tree alongside the words, "The Charter Oak," inscribed on the coin's design. Now, while this coin may seem like just a simple representation of Connecticut's history, there's something very special about the 1999 Connecticut Quarter. You see, while millions of these quarters were minted, a select few contain an incredible error that has caused this coin to skyrocket in value among collectors. Let's talk about the rarity and value of this coin. Many of the Connecticut quarters were minted without any noticeable problems, but some of them were struck with a rare and highly sought-after error known as the double die variety. If you're new to coin collecting, a double die error happens when a coin is struck twice during the minting process, causing part of the design to appear doubled or blurred. This doubling effect can occur in various parts of the design, and in the case of the 1999 Connecticut Quarter, collectors have noticed a doubling in the inscriptions on the coin, especially around the phrase, "The Charter Oak," and the date, 1999. Now, imagine this: you've got a Connecticut Quarter with this double die error, and it's in pristine condition. Coins with this kind of error are incredibly rare, and they hold a much higher value than the typical Connecticut Quarter you might find in circulation. To the untrained eye, a regular quarter might seem like just another coin, but to a seasoned collector, the slightest imperfection or error can turn a coin into a valuable treasure. But wait, there's even more to consider. Aside from the double die error, some of the 1999 Connecticut quarters were struck on incorrect planchets. This means that they were minted on blank metal discs that weren't quite the right size or shape, resulting in off-center strikes or unusual designs. These mistakes are highly prized by collectors because they make the coin one of a kind, and that uniqueness is what drives their value up significantly. A quarter with a misaligned strike or unusual metal flow could be worth far more than you'd think. Now, let's get to the most exciting part: how much is a 1999 Connecticut quarter worth? If you happen to have one of these rare error coins in your collection, especially one with the double die or an off-center strike, you could be holding a coin that's worth a small fortune. The value of these rare error coins can vary depending on their condition and the severity of the error, but it's not uncommon for these special coins to fetch prices as high as $62,000. Yes, you heard that right, $62,000 for a single quarter. That's an insane amount of money for a coin with a face value of just 25 cents. It's hard to imagine that a coin you might find at a coin show or in your own change jar could be worth so much, but that's the reality in the world of rare coin collecting. Collectors are always on the lookout for these special pieces, and as time goes on, the demand for coins with errors only continues to grow. So, if you've got a 1999 Connecticut quarter lying around, take a close look at it. You might just have a treasure on your hands. Remember, condition is key when it comes to determining the value of a rare coin. The more pristine the coin, the higher the value it holds. So, if you find one of these rare 1999 Connecticut quarters, make sure to keep it in a safe place, away from dirt, scratches, or any damage that could lower its value. The better the condition, the better the price you can fetch when it's time to sell. For all you coin collectors out there, this is a great example of how a simple mistake during the minting process can lead to a coin being worth far more than anyone expected. In the world of numismatics, finding an error coin can be like striking gold, and the 1999 Connecticut quarter is a perfect example of that. If you're just getting into coin collecting, be sure to keep your eyes peeled for these rare errors, because they could turn your collection into something truly valuable. So, next time you're out hunting for coins, remember that even a simple quarter could have hidden value. With a bit of knowledge, a trained eye, and a little bit of luck, you could find yourself holding a coin worth thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of dollars. The world of rare coins is full of surprises, and who knows what treasures might be waiting for you. Top 4, we're going to talk about a coin that might not look all that special at first glance, but once you dig into its story, you'll see why it's causing a stir in the coin collecting community. The 2009 Guam Quarter. Released in 2009, the Guam Quarter is part of the U.S. Mint's District of Columbia and U.S. Territories Quarters program. This program introduced a special set of coins, featuring designs that represented U.S. territories, rather than individual states. Guam, a beautiful island territory in the Pacific, was honored with its very own coin, and it's one that has quickly gained attention from collectors and investors alike. The reverse side of the Guam Quarter showcases the island's natural beauty and rich cultural history, with an image of a native Chamorro man standing tall with a spear and an ancient latte stone, a traditional structure used by the indigenous people of the island. Now, let's take a deeper look at what makes this coin so special. While the design is visually striking and meaningful, it's not just the artwork that makes the 2009 Guam Quarter rare, it's the errors and minting variations that have caused this coin to rise in value. To the untrained eye, a regular Guam Quarter might seem like any other quarter in your pocket, but the world of coin collecting is filled with hidden gems, and sometimes, those gems are hidden in plain sight. So, what's the big deal about this coin? The 2009 Guam Quarter, like many others from the U.S. Mint, was struck in large quantities, but a small number of them came off the presses with minting errors. And these errors can dramatically increase the value of the coin, making them highly sought after by collectors. One of the most common errors that has been spotted on some of the Guam Quarters is a misalignment in the design, where the image on the coin appears slightly off-center. This kind of off-center strike can be subtle, but it's enough to make the coin stand out as a unique, one-of-a-kind piece. Another major error that has been noticed in some 2009 Guam Quarters is the double die effect. This is a fascinating minting mistake that occurs when a coin is struck twice, causing the design elements to appear doubled or blurred. In the case of the Guam Quarter, you might notice this doubling effect in the text or other fine details, and this error makes the coin even more valuable because collectors are always on the lookout for coins with this kind of anomaly. But that's not all. There are also minting inconsistencies in some of these Guam Quarters. For example, some coins were struck on incorrect planchets, blanks that weren't properly prepared or sized. This can lead to coins with off-center designs or even coins that are thinner or thicker than usual. These types of errors are incredibly rare, and they add to the coin's mystique and desirability. Now, you might be asking, what kind of value are we talking about here? Well, here's where things get really exciting. The value of a 2009 Guam Quarter can vary based on its condition, error type, and rarity. While a regular Guam Quarter is worth only 25 cents, certain error coins have sold for astronomical amounts in auctions. And here's the jaw-dropping part: a 2009 Guam Quarter with a rare error, in pristine condition, has been known to fetch up to an astounding $41,000. That's right, $41,000 for a quarter that was originally worth just a quarter. It might sound unbelievable, but this is exactly what makes coin collecting so fascinating. Sometimes, a simple minting error or slight variation can make a coin skyrocket in value, and that's why collectors are constantly on the lookout for these rare finds. The 2009 Guam Quarter is a perfect example of how something small and seemingly insignificant can be worth a small fortune, especially if it has the right imperfections or characteristics. If you have any 2009 Guam Quarters, now is the perfect time to examine them closely. Look for any of these potential errors, such as off-center strikes or double die effects. A coin that seems ordinary could actually be hiding a unique characteristic that makes it incredibly valuable. And remember, condition is everything when it comes to coin values. Coins in mint or near mint condition are the ones that fetch the highest prices. For all the serious collectors out there, this is a great example of how the world of numismatics is filled with surprises. Rare errors like those on the 2009 Guam Quarter are what make coin collecting so thrilling. You never know when you might come across a coin that could make you a small fortune, so, whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, keep an eye out for these rare and valuable coins. The 2009 Guam Quarter may seem like a regular piece of change, but it's a perfect reminder that in the world of coins, every piece of currency has a story, and some stories are worth a lot more than you might think. Top 5, we're going to talk about a coin that you might have overlooked before, but trust me, it's worth your attention. We're talking about the 2002 Mississippi Quarter, which, despite being just another state quarter, has some hidden secrets that could make it worth far more than you ever imagined. This coin is a true gem for collectors, and there's a good chance that if you're lucky enough to find one with the right characteristics, it could be worth a small fortune. Now, let's rewind for a moment. The 2002 Mississippi Quarter is part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, which was launched in 1999 and ran through 2008. The idea behind this program was to honor each of the 50 states by releasing a series of special quarter designs that represented something unique about each state. Mississippi, the 20th state to join the Union, was honored with its own design in 2002. The quarter features an image of the famous magnolia flower, which is not only the state flower but also a symbol of the state's beauty and history. In the background, you'll see the state outline of Mississippi and the words, "The Magnolia State," reflecting the state's deep connection to nature and its rich cultural heritage. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another piece of change from the State Quarter series, but there's more to it than meets the eye. As many collectors know, the true value of a coin often comes from its rarity, condition, and sometimes, its errors. And the 2002 Mississippi Quarter is one of those coins where small imperfections during the minting process have made it highly sought after by numismatists. One of the main reasons the 2002 Mississippi Quarter stands out in the world of coin collecting is because of the minting errors that occurred during its production. The most notable error is a double die variety, where certain design elements on the coin appear to be doubled, creating a blurry or ghosted effect. This happens when a coin is struck twice by the press, but the second strike is slightly misaligned, causing the image to appear more than once. On the 2002 Mississippi Quarter, the most common area where this double die can be found is around the word Mississippi and the phrase, "the Magnolia State." For collectors who know what to look for, these double die coins are highly desirable because they are incredibly rare, and they make for a unique addition to any collection, but that's not the only reason this coin is worth paying attention to. Some 2002 Mississippi quarters were struck on incorrect planchets, the metal blanks that are used to create the coin. When a coin is struck on a wrong planchet, the result can be a coin that's thinner, thicker, or even a different color. This kind of minting mistake adds another layer of rarity to the 2002 Mississippi Quarter. A coin that's slightly misaligned or has an off-center strike can be worth far more than its standard counterpart. For collectors, coins like these are coveted for their uniqueness and their potential to increase in value over time. Now, let's get to the real question you've been waiting for: how much is a 2002 Mississippi Quarter worth? Well, it's not just any regular quarter. While the standard 2002 Mississippi Quarter is worth 25 cents, one with the rare minting errors, especially the double die or the misaligned strike, can be worth a whole lot more. The highest price ever recorded for a 2002 Mississippi Quarter with a rare error in great condition is a staggering $45,000. Yes, you heard that right, $45,000 for a coin that you might have seen in your pocket or even in your change jar. Imagine finding a quarter worth thousands of dollars just sitting there, waiting to be discovered. So how can you tell if you've got one of these valuable coins? Well, first off, check for the double die error. If you notice any doubling around the word Mississippi or the Magnolia State, you may have just stumbled upon something rare and valuable. Also, inspect the overall condition of the coin. Coins that are well preserved and show minimal signs of wear are always worth more than those that have been heavily circulated. And if you come across a coin that's misaligned or struck on an incorrect planchet, you could be holding onto something truly unique. The 2002 Mississippi Quarter is a perfect example of how small mistakes during the minting process can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a valuable treasure. As with all rare coins, the value is driven by scarcity and demand. The more unusual or unique a coin is, the higher its value can rise. That's why collectors and investors alike are always on the lookout for coins like these, and why coin shows and auctions regularly feature such rare finds. For those of you just starting your coin collecting journey, this is a great reminder that sometimes the most valuable coins are the ones that you least expect. A coin from your pocket change could end up being worth a fortune, and a little knowledge and attention to detail can make all the difference when it comes to discovering hidden treasures in the world of numismatics. So, if you have any 2002 Mississippi quarters lying around in your collection or change jar, be sure to take a closer look. You could be sitting on a potential gold mine. Top 6, we have something really special for you. If you're a fan of American history, unique coins, or just the thrill of finding hidden treasures, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Today, we're diving into the 1999 New Jersey Quarter, a coin that might be worth a lot more than you think. It's part of the U.S. Mint's famous 50-state quarters program, but it carries some rare characteristics that could make it worth a small fortune. Let's start with a little background. The 1999 New Jersey Quarter was part of the first series of state quarters, which featured designs representing each of the 50 states in the U.S. New Jersey's quarter design is a tribute to its historical significance. It features the image of George Washington crossing the Delaware River during the Revolutionary War, a moment that's etched in American history. The design also includes the words, "Crossroads of the Revolution," to highlight New Jersey's role in the struggle for independence. It's a beautiful coin, rich in symbolism and history, something every collector can appreciate. However, what makes this coin particularly interesting is not just the design, but the rarity and errors that can be found in certain 1999 New Jersey quarters. Let's dive into the key details of what sets this coin apart from the rest, and why it's catching the attention of collectors and investors alike. You see, when coins are minted, they go through a highly precise process. But, sometimes, something can go wrong during that process, and when it does, it can result in errors that make a coin far more valuable. The 1999 New Jersey Quarter, like many other state quarters, was produced in large numbers, but not all of them are created equal. Some of these coins were struck with minting errors, and those mistakes can make all the difference when it comes to value. One of the most notable errors found on the 1999 New Jersey Quarter is the double die variety. What does that mean? Well, a double die error happens when a coin is struck twice, and the second strike is misaligned, causing the design to appear doubled or blurry. On the New Jersey Quarter, this doubling effect can usually be seen around the words, New Jersey, or in the image of George Washington himself. To the casual observer, it might just look like a small imperfection, but to a seasoned collector, it's a rare and highly desirable error that makes the coin worth a lot more than face value. In addition to the double die error, there are other types of minting mistakes that can make the 1999 New Jersey Quarter more valuable. For example, some coins were struck on incorrect planchets, which are the metal discs used to create coins. These incorrect planchets can result in coins that are either too thick or too thin, or even coins that have off-center designs. These types of errors are incredibly rare, and they are often the ones that collectors are most eager to find. The more unusual the mistake, the more valuable the coin can become, but the value doesn't stop there. Even a regular, uncirculated 1999 New Jersey Quarter can be worth more than you might expect. As time passes, the condition of a coin can have a significant impact on its value. Coins that are well preserved, with no signs of wear and tear, are always more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. For collectors, the pristine condition of a coin can make all the difference in its worth. So, what's the bottom line? How much could a 1999 New Jersey Quarter be worth? If you happen to have one of these rare error coins, especially one with the double die or other minting mistakes, you could be holding on to something worth a small fortune. Believe it or not, some 1999 New Jersey Quarters have been known to sell for up to an incredible $58,000. Yes, you heard that right, $58,000 for a coin that originally only had a value of 25 cents. Now, imagine that. A quarter that was once used as pocket change or tossed into a vending machine could end up being worth tens of thousands of dollars. That's what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know when you might stumble upon a rare gem. It's like a treasure hunt, and sometimes, the treasures are worth far more than anyone ever expected. If you're wondering how you can tell if you've got a valuable 1999 New Jersey Quarter, it's simple: look for those minting errors. Check for any doubling on the lettering or the design, especially around New Jersey and the image of George Washington. Inspect the overall condition of the coin too. Coins in mint or near mint condition are always worth more than those with visible wear. And if you happen to find one with a misaligned strike or any other minting inconsistencies, you might just have a coin that's worth a lot more than you realized. So, next time you're going through your collection or your spare change, take a closer look at those 1999 New Jersey quarters. They might just be hiding a treasure. And remember, the world of coin collecting is all about paying attention to the details. With a little knowledge and a keen eye, you could find yourself holding onto a coin that's worth thousands, maybe even tens of thousands, of dollars. Top 7 and last rare coin, we're diving into a coin that might be sitting right in your pocket change, but could be worth far more than you ever imagined. We're talking about the 2004 Texas Quarter, part of the U.S. Mint's 50-state quarters program. While most people think of quarters as mere pocket change, this coin is a perfect example of how a small detail can make a big difference in its value. Stick around because, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this particular quarter could be worth thousands. Let's start with a little history. The Texas Quarter, released in 2004, was part of the 50-state quarters program, which celebrated each of the U.S. states by putting their unique designs on the reverse side of the quarter. The Texas Quarter is particularly significant because it represents the Lone Star State, a state known for its rich history, vast landscapes, and, of course, its pride. The design features the state's outline along with a lone star, which symbolizes Texas' independent spirit. Below the star, you'll find the words, "The Lone Star State," an iconic nickname that Texas has carried for centuries. Now, this coin might seem like just another state quarter at first glance, but there's a lot more to it than that. While most 2004 Texas quarters are worth just 25 cents, there are certain variations and errors that make them highly valuable. That's right, if you happen to have one of these quarters with the right combination of characteristics, you could be holding on to something worth thousands of dollars. One of the main reasons the 2004 Texas Quarter stands out is because of the minting errors that can occur during production. These errors can add significant value to a coin and make it a collector's dream. The most common and valuable error found on the Texas Quarter is a double die variety. But what exactly is a double die, and why does it make a coin more valuable? A double die error happens when the coin is struck more than once during the minting process, but the second strike is misaligned. This causes parts of the design to appear doubled or blurry. On the 2004 Texas Quarter, you might see this effect around the words Texas or the Lone Star State. In some cases, the star itself may even show signs of doubling. While this might seem like a small imperfection to some, collectors know that these errors are rare and highly sought after, which makes them worth significantly more than a standard quarter, but that's not all. In addition to the double die error, there are other types of minting mistakes that can make the 2004 Texas Quarter worth more money. Some coins were struck on incorrect planchets, which are the metal discs that are used to create coins. If a quarter is struck on a wrong planchet, it can result in a coin that is either thinner or thicker than usual, or even has a slightly different color. These types of minting mistakes are rarer and more valuable to collectors because they create a one-of-a-kind coin that stands out from the rest. Another factor that contributes to the value of the 2004 Texas Quarter is its condition. Like all collectible coins, the better the condition, the more valuable it is. A coin that's in mint condition, free from scratches, dings, or discoloration, will always command a higher price than one that's been heavily circulated. So, if you've got a 2004 Texas Quarter that's in pristine condition, it's definitely worth checking out closely for any errors or variations. Now, let's get to the exciting part. You've probably been wondering just how much this 2004 Texas Quarter could be worth. Well, the answer is simple. If you have one of these rare quarters with a double die error, a misaligned strike, or any other notable minting mistake, it could be worth a lot more than just 25 cents. In fact, some 2004 Texas quarters have been sold for as much as $40,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $40,000 for a single quarter. Imagine going through your change or pulling a coin from your collection, only to realize that it's worth thousands of dollars. That's the thrill of coin collecting, and it's a reminder that sometimes, those little details and imperfections can make all the difference in the world of numismatics. So, how can you tell if you have one of these rare and valuable Texas quarters? First, look for any signs of doubling on the design. Check the word Texas, the star, and the phrase the Lone Star State for any evidence of a double die. Next, examine the overall condition of the coin. If it's in mint or near mint condition, you're off to a good start. And don't forget to look for any other unique errors, such as an off-center strike or a coin struck on an incorrect planchet. The 2004 Texas quarter is a perfect example of how a coin that may seem ordinary at first can actually be a hidden treasure. It shows that coin collecting isn't just about the coins you find, it's about understanding the small details that make certain coins stand out. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, always take a closer look at your coins. You never know when you might find a rare gem that could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Thank you for joining us today and learning about the 2004 Texas quarter. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep discovering more rare and valuable coins, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Happy collecting, and remember, there could be a $40,000 quarter sitting right in your pocket right now.